Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. This is Amy. And if you're new, welcome to this is Book Talk Thursday. How's it going? It's going here. It's going. Your little beanie hat on. It's pink. Got my winter Mickey pullover. Mickey and Pluto here. Nice and cozy. Got our pink glasses. Yeah, pink glasses, pink hat. Okay, we toasty. We toasty coasty. Mm, let's see here. So in today's video on today's show, we are going to do our 25 books to read in 2025. Yes, I can't wait. I've been wanting to do this video a while, and I finally narrowed it down. I have most of the books I use from my own library and physical books I have at my house. My library, personal library. Anyway, we got our coffee. It's not very good, aim. Got some coffee in my nice little holiday mug. It is a Starbucks mug. It's like holly berries. And it's just, if you see red inside, the Starbucks holiday blend um, with great value vanilla caramel cream. hmm I do have for my coffee. Um, what was I going to say? My sister last year got me a coffee kind of advent. It's not for the full 25 days. Little K cups, and I didn't use them last year because it was like on Christmas when I got it. So I wanted to save it for this year, and I will do it's actually 12, 12 days of Christmas. There's 12 coffee pods, and so I thought it would be fun to film a little coffee each day, which coffee I got. Last year I posted on Facebook coffees throughout, or not last year, it was the year before, because I found an Advent coffee pod um like calendar at Walmart. And then last year when I looked, they didn't have them. And then my sister found me this 12K cups of Christmas or whatever it's called. And so I didn't use it last year. So we're using it this year. We'll do the 12 coffees of Christmas. I got to sneeze. On with the show. I'm still sneezy. Sneezy. Oh, I have my moments. Hold on. I think I'm done sneezing. I don't really know. Um, just in case. Apologies ahead of time. I have this a lot. In the morning, I sneeze a lot. Anyway, 12 days of Christmas coffee. I think I'm gonna do it to Christmas, so 12 days back. I think that was the 14th, um, if I counted right. But anyway, we'll start that then, which is coming up soon. And I have my juice in my Charlie Brown Christmas cup, juice cup. It's a Ocean Spray Immunity Plus Y. So it's cranberry, blueberry, and acai. Um, I'll pop up a picture of the juice. I got it at Walmart. I don't know if it's on clearance or if it's just marked down, but anyway, I found it when I was shopping with my sister. So I don't know if the immunity part really works, but we're going to give it a shot. And I made my breakfast burrito yesterday. It's homemade breakfast burrito. Ooh, it's got three meats. It's a three meat breakfast burrito. If you're a vegetarian, you're not going to like it. Has sausage patty, bacon bits, and like chopped ham, like lunch meat ham, eggs, breakfast potatoes, some mushrooms, and Tabasco sauce. It's really good. I'm hungry. Probably shouldn't be eaten on video. No, it's not that spicy. Um, like my burrito spicy. Mm, Not a spicy girl, but I'm not a spicy girl. But I like spicy food. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Enough of the yip yap. Oh, I am hungry and thirsty. I don't know. Well, we should have waited. Anywho, Mango update. He's not doing so hot. He didn't do well last night. I didn't think we're gonna see him today. But he's here. He's sleeping in the little bed back here on the floor. He's can't see very well. He's breathing hard, and the medicines that we got don't seem to be working that well. So we're gonna take it one step at a time. He is eating a little bit and drinking some water, I know, but it's not looking good. We need a Christmas miracle. Okay, so this year, it was a late night. Um, Today's video is 25 books to read in 2025. Now, some of these books, I'm not doing a weather update. It's cold. I will tell you the degrees though at 9:30 in the morning. 48, I think. It's 48 degrees. It rained last night. It's supposed to rain today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Weather. And get a haircut today too. Thank God. So 25 books in 2025. Here we go. I have a lot of the books here. I have, let's see how many books I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 of the 25 books I want to read in 2025 on my shelf. And there is 9, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 that I do not have. And 3 of those 9 are not even out yet. So, 2 are going to be published in March of this next year, and 1 is going to be published in April of this next year. So 3 of them aren't even out yet. So that leaves 6 for me to I can get either on the Libby app or from the library. It depend. There might be a few that I actually want to purchase. 1 or 2. 1 I know for sure. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so some of the books from last year's 24 and 2024, I didn't get through all of my list. I didn't get 11 of them. So 11 out of the 24 I did not read. So some of those I did roll over on this one because I really do want to get to them soon. So let's just jump right in. Hold on. Let me check on Mango. Okay, he got up to get a drink. And here we go, take 2. Okay. So the first one, I have a few classics and one recent one I just got last year that came out. So the first one is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is a classic. I've seen the movie with Gregory Peck several occasions. I absolutely love this movie, and I hear rave reviews about this book, and I keep meaning to read it. And I've had this copy forever on my shelf, and I say I'm going to read, and I actually probably have started it at some point and put it down. I don't know why, but yeah, I just want to get to this year. I want to check it off and I think this could be one of my all-time I'm predicting it could be one of my all-time faves. I mean, the movie was so good that I just can't help thinking that this book is going to be less than that. But it's only 200, looks like 281 pages. Yeah, so it's not that big. I know it's just some at some points maybe a dense reading, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy it. But I definitely want to read that. Hey. So the next one is also a classic, and this is The Hobbit, which I really want to get to Lord of the Rings, but I wanted to start with The Hobbit first. And yeah, I love the movies. I love Lord of the Rings. I love the Hobbit movies, the Lord of the Rings. I'm watching on Prime The Rings of Power, which I'm enjoying that show too. And I don't read much fantasy, but this is definitely, I'm pretty sure my cup of tea of fantasy. Um, Absolutely love the movies. I've never read the books. And like I said, I was gonna start Lord of the Rings last year, and I didn't. And we're gonna jump on in with The Hobbit. I I want to this year. And let's see. This isn't really a very big book either. It's trying to think. Trying to think. I'm trying to look. It is uh looks like 305 pages. And this is a movie cover version. Um yeah, but I want to start this one. This is J.R.R. Tolkien. The Kill a Mockingbird was Harper Lee. And the next one is uh-oh. It's not a classic yet, but I think, in due time, this could be a classic. The TV series was excellent. I seen the TV series, the first two seasons, I think maybe, and then I kind of got spotty on the rest, and I seen the ending episode, but it's Lord of the Rings, kind of Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin. This is the first one in the series. I think he has I don't know if he has seven. I don't know, and they're quite chunky books. And I wanted to start. This one was on my list for last. No, it wasn't on. Was it on my list for last year? I thought it was, but um, no, it was not. It was just a book on one of my TBRs. But yeah, I want to start this. It is a chunky book, but and then it could be some dense reading in there too because there's a lot of characters. Yeah, but because I think it will help me that I've seen like at least one or two of the seasons of the series, so I kind of know who those characters are, so I won't get lost. I mean, there's some characters in there I'm not really, I've lost who they were. So I may be writing names down because it may be get confusing. And why is there why is there no page numbers in this book? It's because it's gone into other things at the end. Acknowledgements. Okay. Um, oh, we have an appendix. That could be helpful. Oh, we have an appendix for the different houses. Okay, that's good. We could be referring to all of those quite frequently. So a lot of this ending of this book is is the appendix for the different um houses name. So it's 807 pages. Yeah, it's kind of tiny writing, but it is a paperback, so I think there's a map at the beginning. That's good. Can't really see it, but that'll be helpful. Like I said, I'm gonna have to write things down. So at this time, this book was published. Um, I think there were 5 books. I think there's 7. I think he wrote 7 books. So anyway, Lord of the Rings. I mean, I keep saying Lord of the Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. I'm getting it. Boy, that's going to be a real good read if I'm getting it mixed up with the Lord of the Rings already. And the next one is this one. I just got in a library haul this past few months, and it is No Exit by Taylor Adams. Last year, I was going to read Taylor Adams's The Last Word, and I didn't get to it. So I don't have that one on my list, but I did want to try to read this one because I was going to read it the beginning of fall last year, and I didn't get time, and I had to take it back to the library. But I did notice on I think it's Disney, there is a movie of this story. So I wanted to watch it, but I held myself off because I want to read this first before I watch it. So I think it's on Disney, but I thought that's cool. I didn't even know they had a movie out about this at all. But this is it doesn't seem like that big a book. It is looks like 351 pages. So this is No Exit by Taylor Adams. And I haven't gone over what these are about. So this is about this girl. She's going. Um, well, the other ones I don't think I need to talk about what those were about. It says on her way to Utah to see her dying mother, college student Darby Thorne gets caught in a fierce blizzard in the Colorado Rockies. So this is really good to read right now in the wintertime too. This is a good winter read. She's stuck in a blizzard in the Colorado Rockies. With the roads impassable, she's forced to wait out the storm at a remote highway rest stop with no cell phone reception. Inside are some vending machines, a coffee maker, and four complete strangers. Desperate to find a signal to call home, the exhausted young art student goes back out into the storm and makes a horrifying discovery. In the back of the van, parked next to her car, is a little girl locked in an animal crate. Who is this child? Why has she been taken? And how can Darby save her? There is no way to call for help and no way out. No one no, one of her fellow travelers is a kidnapper, but which one? Trapped in an increasingly dangerous situation on the edge of civilization, with a child's life and her own on the line, Darby must find a way to break the girl out of the van and escape. But who can she trust? No Exit. That sounds exciting. And that right now. The next one is this one I got in a haul. This recently too, or I got it at the Goodwill this year. This ended this year. Fanny Flagg's The Whole Town's Talkin'. This one I wanted to read. I think I had it on my TBR a couple of times and I didn't get to it, but it's not that big a book. But Fanny Flagg is a very humorous uh, lady. Her writing is very humorous. She wrote Fried Green Tomatoes, the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. Fried Green Tomatoes, the book is just one of my all-time favorite books ever. And the movie was excellent. And I just love Fanny, her writing. Um, so this book is yeah, she's an Alabama girl, and it's 402 pages. So it says Elmwood Springs, Missouri. Read it like that. Elmwood Springs, Missouri is a small town like any other. Lordor Nordstrom created, in his wisdom, not only a wonderful place to live and a prosperous legacy for himself and his Swedish mail order bride, Katrina, but also a beautiful final resting place for his family, friends, and neighbors yet to come. Resting place turns out to be a bit of a misnomer, however. Misnomer. Something strange is happening at the cemetery. Still Meadows, as it's called, is anything but still. Meadows, it's as it's called, is anything but still. And now the whole town is talking. The one and only Fanny Flagg, best-selling author of Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, and her superb bet is at her superb best in this fun-loving, moving novel about what it means to be truly alive, with her trademark humor, wild imagination, and deep understanding of folly and the human heart. This unforgettable story of life and afterlife reminds us that community is viral, life is a gift, and love never dies. So yeah, I really enjoy her writing. She's one of my favorite writers. Okay. And this one is a classic. I read this in high school and I've seen the movie several times. I absolutely love the movie. The movie is a classic. And this is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. And if you haven't seen the movie, you should watch the movie. There's a lot of, it's an 80s movie. There's a lot of up and coming 80s male actors in there that, uh, yeah, there's Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez, C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio, Matt Dillon. He was already, I think, a star in the 80s when this came out, but and Diane Lane is in it. So it's just a cast of characters in the movie that are absolutely great. And I'm hoping this book also, I have high hopes it's going to be one of my all-time faves. I'm hoping to put it on my one of the books you have to read in your lifetime list. I already have did one video of that. Um, and I want to put this on the list, but I got to read it first. So this is, I mean, it's just a classic. It's a classic. I don't know. I mean, everybody should know what The Outsiders is, but it's written by S.E. Hinton, and I believe she wrote this when she was 15 or 16 or something like that. She started writing this. I started reading this in the spring, I think, but I didn't get. I put it down, and I think this came out in 67, 1967. Pretty sure. Um, yeah, it is. It is not that big a book. It has deckled edges. I love this copy. And this copy is a platinum edition. It's I think it's Penguin Platinum Edition. Yeah, it's Penguin. They have platinum editions, and you can look them up. It says it's published by Speak Platinum Edition, um, but it's through Penguin and Speak, an imprint of Penguin Group. Anyway, they have other books on their list, but this is just a nice cover. I really like this cover. So anyway, this is so on the back. It says Pony Boy, and that's one of the characters is Pony Boy. And one of the characters is Soda Pop, Pony Boy, Dairy, yeah, I can't think of the rest of them right now, but anyway, it says Pony Boy. One of them laughed, then cussed me out in a low voice. I couldn't think of anything to say. There just in a whole lot there just isn't a whole lot you can say while waiting to get mugged, so I kept my mouth shut. Need a need a haircut, greaser? The medium-sized blonde pulled a knife out of his back pocket and flipped the blade open. I finally thought of something to say. No! I was backing up, away from the knife, of course. I backed right into one of them. They had me down in a second. They had my arms and legs pinned down. One of them was sitting on my chest with his knees on my elbows. And if you don't think that hurts, you're crazy. I fought to get loose and almost did for a second. Then they tightened up on me, and the one on my chest slugged me a couple of times, so I lay still, swearing at them between gasps. A blade was held against my throat. How'd you like that haircut to begin just below the chin? How'd you like that haircut to begin just below the chin? That's just a quote from a scene in the thing. Pony Boy is he is one of the friends. He's not one. There's the brothers, and I can't think. Soda Pop, Dairy, and can't think of the other boy. I don't know why. It's the littlest brother, played by C. Thomas Howell. Uh, and they're like these two gangs. And then there's the rich side of town, and then there's the other side of tracks. And this family of Soda Pop, Dairy, and the brother, their mom and dad passed away, and so the oldest brother Derry is raising the two boys, and yeah, they're not rich. Uh, it's just and then their friend is Pony Boy. I think it's Pony Boy, or Pony Boy is the youngest brother. Oh Lord. Anyway, we'll let you know when we get there because Johnny. Yeah, Johnny is the friend, and Pony Boy is the brother to the two other brothers. Anyway, it's a good story. It's sad. It has its moments. Um, it says as timely now as it was when it was written 50 years ago. The Outsiders is a dramatic and enduring work of fiction. Books such as The Outsiders have power to affect readers' lives and stay with them forever. Says now platinum editions help to identify those works by presenting a selection of timeless stories packed in high-end, high-quality paperback editions with all the allure and durability of platinum itself. These are stories that will captivate readers in editions that they will cherish for years to come. So that's talking about these platinum edition publishings. And yes, no one ever said life is easy, but Pony Boy is pretty sure that he got things figured out. He knows that he can count on his brothers, Derry and Soda Pop. Should have read that first. And he knows that he can count on his friends, true friends, who would do anything for him, like Johnny and Two Bit. And when it comes to the Socias, a vicious gang of rich kids who enjoy beating up on the greasers, they're the greasers, like him and his friends, he knows that he can count on them for trouble. But one night someone takes things too far and Pony Boy's world is turned upside down. Yeah, great story. I've never read. Well, I did. Yes, I did read it. So it is technically a reread because we read it in high school in one of my English classes. Um, so the next one is a classic. Again, I got a lot of classics here. I think this is the last of, yeah, the true classics. This is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I love this cover. I just love those clouds. I mean, this is really a dark story. It's about a murdered family, and in real life, it's based on it's based on a true story that Truman Capote was investigating, and they apprehended the killer. Anyway, I think he even interviewed the killer, but and he was friends with Harper Lee. They did have a falling out. Um, I don't know that they made up before he died, but anyway, this is just a classic. I found this at the Goodwill, and I just love this cover. I love clouds. And it's a pretty color. It's like a turquoise or something. But for this story, it's kind of like it's a dark story, but you have these like white, beautiful clouds. Says on November 15th, 1959, in the small town of Holcomb, Kansas, four members of the Clutter family were savagely murdered by blasts from a shotgun held a few inches from their faces. There was no apparent motive for the crime, and there were almost no clues. As Truman Capote reconstructs the murder and the investigation that led to the capture, trial, and execution of the killers, he generates both mesmerizing suspense and astonishing empathy. In Cold Blood is a work that transcends its moment, yielding poignant insights into the nature of American violence. So it's a fiction story, but it's based on true things. So I'm sure he's taken liberties. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he communicated with the. Uh, this was a movie also. It's a movie. The movie is a classic, and the guy who played the killer, I can't. He just died. He was accused of murder himself. In real life, in his later years of his estranged wife. But anyway, he was. I don't know if he was convicted or I think he got off. But anyway, doesn't matter. Um, that's Truman. And they did a movie about Truman. It's called Capote. There's a movie called Capote, and I believe it was Philip Seymour Hoffman, the actor, played him. And I don't know if I've seen that movie. I know I've seen parts of it. Really want to watch that. If I did see it, I can't remember. I would like to watch it or watch it again. But yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman is no longer with us either. He passed away quite a few years ago, but he did an excellent version of Truman Capote. I mean, the speaking. I don't know if he won an Oscar, or I think he might have been nominated for an Oscar. But the speaking, the looks, yeah. So this is just a classic. I would say literary classic is what it is, and it is um looks like 343 pages. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this for a while too. So I didn't have one on my 24 for 2024, but I did have it on one of my TBRs probably a couple times and I didn't get to it. Um, you know how it goes. And this one was also on my TBR and I did get it at Goodwill this last year. And I really wanted to read it, so I did put it back on my list for the books to read this next year. And it is Women Talking by Miriam Toews. And this is also a movie. Um, and I think it won an Oscar, the movie. But yeah, it was. I haven't seen the movie yet either because I wanted to watch this. But basically, it is a um, let's see, the author. She's written other things, but anyway. It's this one evening, 8 Mennonite women climb into a hayloft to conduct a secret meeting. For the past 2 years, each of these women and more than 100 other girls in their colony have been repeatedly violated in the night by demons coming to punish them for their sins. Now that the women have learned they were in fact drugged and attacked by a group of men from their own community, they are determined to protect themselves and their daughters from future harm. While the men of the colony are off in the city attempting to raise enough money to bail out the rapists and bring them home, these women, all illiterate, without any knowledge of the world outside their community, and unable even to speak the language of the country they live in, have very little time to make a choice. Should they stay in their own world, they have the only world they have ever known, or should they dare to escape? This is based on real events and told through the minutes of the Women's All-Female Symposium. Toe's masterful novel uses wry, political, engaged humor to relate the tale of these women claiming their own power to decide. So that just seems like an excellent read. I mean, and it's based on a true story, which is just probably heart-wrenching to read. And the movie, I just really want to get to it. Frances, can't think of her name, but she's a great actress, and I think she was nominated for an Oscar or she won an Oscar for this. But yeah, it's just riveting. And the next one, this one, I got almost all of these at Goodwill. There's two I did not. Um, so this is interesting because this next year I wanted to read a more of Pacific Islander authors or stories. And so I found this at Goodwill, and it was just like I had just thought of reading that topic more. And I found this at Goodwill. So it was like meant to be. This is Molokai by Alan Brennert. Um, so this is just a really good historical fiction. And he also, I think this one called Honolulu, he wrote. So this one it has a map in here. Uh, this one, I don't know when it was published. This is 2003. Okay. For the people of Kalaupapa. That's in Molokai. So this is what it's basically the plot, the synopsis. This richly imagined novel, set in Hawaii more than a century ago, is an extraordinary epic of little known time and place and deeply moving testament to the resiliency of the human spirit. I'm hoping this will be one of my all time faves too. Because that's basically my theme of I'm finding that I like in these stories that I'm my all-time favorites that I think that you should read in your lifetime is the resiliency of the human spirit. I think that's perfectly worded and specific to the books that I'm putting on this list. The human spirit. They all connect that way to me. But anyway, Rachel Kalama, a spirited 7-year-old Hawaiian girl, dreams of visiting far off lands like her father, a merchant seaman. Then one day, a rose colored mark appears on her skin, and those dreams are stolen from her, taken from her home and family. Rachel is sent to Kalapapa. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The quarantine leprosy settlement on the island of Molokai. Here, her life is supposed to end, but instead, she discovers it is only just the beginning. With vibrant cast of vividly realized characters, Molokai is a true to life chronicle of the people who embrace life in the face of death. Such is the warmth, humor, and compassion of this novel that few readers will remain unchanged by Rachel's story. So, yeah, Molokai. It's about the leprosy colony on Molokai. If you don't know anything about that, you can Google it. It's a real thing. They took the people that were getting leprosy and they put them of the islands and they confined them to this little colony on Molokai. And I believe it was run by missionaries. I think it was Mormon missionaries. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I know there was missionaries that were there. But anyway, so this is just a story of one of those people's lives as a young girl. And this, of course, I had it. I think I had it last year, or I had it. I know I definitely had it on a TBR. No, it was on my last year's 24 for 24. It's Louise Penny's Fatal Grace. It's the second one in the Armand Gamache series, and I have almost all of her books. I just need to start reading them down now. And this is a Canadian author, and I read the first one as Still Life. I really really liked it, and there was also a series on Prime, but they only did 1 or 2 seasons, and they didn't do any more. And I watched that series. Actually, I watched the series first when I was watching the first one, and I found that it was a book. It was based on a book, and so I ordered this off of not this one, the first one off of Amazon, and I read it, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it. It's like a cozy mystery, but it's a step up. It's more gritty than just a cozy. It is a mystery thriller series. Um, and I forget how many there are now. But this was published in, I think, 2006, it looks like. Anyway, it's not very long. It's she has a bunch now. Um yeah, it looks like it's 311 pages. But this is so no one liked Cece Portieres. Portieres. I'm gonna go with that. Not her family, not her lover, not her neighbors in Three Pines. That's the name of the place that like the first one happened and then this one is happening in a little village outside of Quebec. Yeah. Still, when Chief Inspector Armand Gamache, that's how I'm pronouncing it, is called to investigate Cece's sudden death on the day after Christmas, it seems like an impossible murder. How could she have been electrocuted in the midst of a curling match in Three Pines and without anyone seeing anything? So this was an episode on the series. One of the episodes was actually this, and I did enjoy that episode. It was really good. Um, says in a Quebec. I'm going to say Quebec because I think that's how they pronounce it. Winter is not only beautiful but deadly as Gamache digs for dangerous secrets beneath the surface of village life, while something even more chilling is coming for Gamache himself. So anyway, it's really good. It's a really good the first one anyway, and that TV series was good. And this one is another series on television, um, on I think you can get it on either Acorn or BritBox. I can't remember, but you can get it also on Prime. I think there might be some other streamings that has a season or two of it, but it's Anne Cleeve's The Crow Trap. It's a Vera Stanhope mysteries, and that's the lady who plays Vera in the TV series. And I love the TV series. It is excellent. And this lady, Brenda Blevin, plays Vera. Oh, I just love her playing that character. I mean, she is great. But this is a chunky book, but this is the first one in the series, and I don't know, there's quite a few too, in this series. I don't have all of them yet, but this is 535 pages, so it's quite a chunky book. And I think I'll fly through it. It's a thriller series, mystery series. She's a um, inspector, DCI. She's a detective. Um, I forget the specific. Oh, Detective Inspector Vera Stanhope. Okay, so in an isolated cottage in the mountains, several very different women are thrown together because of an environmental study. Women who each know the meaning of betrayal. But when Rachel, the leader of the study, arrives at the cottage, she is horrified to discover a body. It is only after another death occurs that another woman enters the picture, the unconventional Detective Inspector Vera Stanhope. The Crow Trap is the first book in Anne Cleeve's enormously popular Vera Stanhope series, which is a major TV detective drama starring Brenda Blevin. Absolutely, absolutely. And I did have this on audio when I first tried to read this back in the summer, and I think I might try to get the audio again when I read this again. But I'm really wanting to get to it because I do love the Vera series, and I think this is going to just be a great read. Mango. Check on Mango. Okay, and the next one is I got this at Goodwill. This is last few months ago. Um, I don't think I got it in the summer, but this is. Did I get? Yeah, I did. It's Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. And this one was unique in a way that it's like reads that you try to solve the uh, the case. It says one body, six experts. Can you solve the case before they do? So it's kind of like a little, the movie Clue or the game Clue, but it has different things. It has like transcripts of um there's thing here, little snippets of articles, and there's like transcripting a timeline. So they give you all these things as you're reading the story. So I thought, oh, that would be fun. Um, yeah, there's back here. Here's like this. It's like I guess a podcast style or a script style. I'm not sure. It says mega best-selling British crime novelist Kara Hunter makes her American debut with a unique and wholly immersive thriller that puts the reader squarely in the center of the action. No one saw the killer, but they all saw the body. December 2003, Luke Ryder, the stepfather of acclaimed filmmaker Guy Howard, was found dead in the garden of their suburban family home. Guy was an only child, asleep up. Guy was only a child, asleep upstairs at the time of the murder. His mother and two half-sisters were also in the house that night, but all swear they saw nothing despite high-profile police investigation and endless media attention. No suspect was ever charged, and Guy's family has been haunted ever since. 20 years later, the sensational new streaming series, Infamous, is dedicated to investigating and perhaps cracking this famous cold case. The production team will re-examine testimony, re-interview witnesses, and once again scour the evidence. The family will speak, the key players will be reunited on camera, and the truth will come out. Are you ready to see it? So it's like a little whodunit, but you get to join in and trying to find out the whodunit. So that is yeah, this is like 400 and 464 pages. So that seemed fun. Let me check on Mango. Okay, getting down to the end here. And this one is a new movie that just came out at the movies, and I found this at Goodwill. I knew the movie was coming out, and this has been out. This is published in. It's not a recent publishing. It was 1995. It was also a Broadway show. I knew that. And this is Gregory Maguire's Wicked. So I definitely want to read this because I'm probably not going to go to the movies to see it, but when it comes out on streaming, I might get it then. But yeah, Wicked. The movie's out. It's been going around. It's hugely popular. It's supposed to be a really well done movie, and yeah. So it says, when Dorothy triumphed over the Wicked Witch of the West in Frank and L. Frank Baum's classic tale, we heard only her side of the story. But what about her arch nemesis, the mysterious witch? Where did she come from? How did she become so wicked? And what is the true nature of evil? Also, my thought is, how did she get green? Why is she green in a world of, if you watched, The Wizard of Oz, she's green. Why is she green in this movie she's green. Is she green in The Wizard of Oz? I don't know. But why is she green? I don't understand the green. And the Grinch, are they related? Because the Grinch is green and he's like this, mean, hard-hearted, no heart little creature. And then I'm thinking they're related, but why are they green? Anyway, that's just a side note and my thoughts. It says Gregory Maguire creates a fantasy world so rich and vivid that we will never look at Oz the same way again. Wicked is about a land where animals talk and strive to be treated like first-class citizens. Munchkinlanders seek the comfort of middle-class stability, and the Tin Man becomes a victim of domestic violence. Oh no. And then there is a little green-skinned girl named, yeah, in the movie they say it, and I just, Elphaba. Elphaba. We're going to go with that right now because I don't know how to pronounce her name. Who will grow up to become an infamous wicked witch of the West, a smart, prickly, and misunderstood creature who challenges all our preconceived notions about the nature of good and evil. Yeah, why is she green? I don't know. Maybe it's where she's from. Maybe she fell in a pot of emeralds. Almost done. We got 3 left. Yeah. Okay. And this one I bought last end of I think it was in the fall it came out. It's a new release, and I bought it at Sam's Club because I had it on hold at the library and it was taking so long, and I thought I was going to get to it by the end of the year, but I didn't. So we put it on our 25 for 2025 because I really want to get to it, and I've heard rave reviews about it. Although I know some people on Book Talk didn't really care for it. It wasn't their cup of tea, but it's a thriller. It's All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. It was up for a Goodreads Choice Awards. And yeah, it's a chunker, and it's you know, I've heard a lot more good things than I have bad. So I really, really am curious about it. It says, and most people probably know what this is about. It says in 1975 is a time of change in America. The Vietnam War is ending. Muhammad Ali is fighting Joe Frazier, and in a small town in Montclair, Missouri, girls are disappearing. When the daughter of a wealthy family is targeted, the most unlikely hero emerges. Patch, a local boy who saves the girl, and in doing so, leaves heartache in his wake. Patch and those who love him will soon discover that the line between triumph and tragedy has never been finer, and that their search for answers will lead them to truths that could mean losing one another. A missing person mystery, a serial killer thriller, a love story, a unique twist on each. All the Colors of the Dark is about what lurks in the shadows of obsession and the blinding light of hope. Big book. And it just came out this last year. So it is, I think, 592 pages. I got several chunkers on this list. And this one I've had for a while. I got it at the Goodwill, I think last year. Been wanting to read it. It's The Night Swim by Megan Golden. there is also some on, I don't know, Netflix Prime, um, something called Night Swim, and it's like a horror or something like supernatural, but this is different than that. That's not the same one. It's not that big. It's about a podcaster, and it says the new season of Rachel's podcast had brought her to a small town torn apart by a devastating rape trial. A local Golden Boy swimmer destined for Olympic greatness has been accused of raping a beloved granddaughter of the police chief. Under pressure to make season 3 a success, Rachel throws herself into the investigation, but the mysterious letters keep coming. Someone is following her, and she won't stop until Rachel finds out what happened to her sister 25 years ago. So that's just a brief synopsis. But yeah. So I've been wanting to get to this. That's just the podcaster um, style writing story. And this one is a chunker, and I'm thinking saving this for Big Book Summer Challenge that Sue Jackson puts on every summer for the whole summer, because this is, and it's dirty. This is a big one, and I've been wanting to read it for quite a while, and I thought I was going to read it in November because it's 11/22/63 by Stephen King. It's the that's the date that JFK was assassinated in Dallas, like it says right here, and then the Vice President LBJ becomes president. But this is Stephen King. I started reading it quite a while ago. Didn't get to it because of that. Finish it, but pictures, real pictures on here. I don't know if it's enhanced. There might be something in there that he put in there that's fake, but that's JFK in the classic picture of right before he was assassinated. But anyway, been wanting to get to this. It's a thriller. It's about this try to read it quickly. Begins with Jake Epping, a 35-year-old English teacher in Lisbon Falls, Maine, who makes extra money teaching GED classes. He takes his students to write it. He asks his students to write about an event that changed their life. And one essay blows him away, a gruesome, harrowing story about the night more than 50 years ago when Harry Dunning's father came home and killed his mother, his sister, and his brother with a sledgehammer. Reading the essay is a watershed moment for Jake. His life, like Harry's, in America in 1963, turning on a dime. Not much later, his friend Al, who owns the local diner, divulges a secret. A storeroom is a portal to the past. A particular day in 1958, and Al enlists Jake to take over the mission that has become his obsession, to prevent the Kennedy assassination. So anyway, so I'm gonna stop there. There's more to read about, but yeah, this is a big one. This is the last book on my list. Also, this is um is that it? That's acknowledgments, or yeah, the afterword. I don't know if the afterword is part of it. It's at least 842 pages, maybe a little bit longer, but there's an afterword. But yeah, so those are my 25 books I want to read in 2025. And thanks for staying this long. It's almost an hour long video. Yeah, I hope to be reading all of those, get those all on my list. Like I said, I didn't read all of my lists last year, but I have high hopes for these. There's a lot of them I definitely want to get to, that I'll be putting on my TBRs, or I'm going to be doing my TBR prompt jar again. So at the end of the month, we'll be doing our drawing TBR prompts from the jar for our January reads. And excited to get to that because I haven't ever done a reading prompt jar picks before. So yeah, so thanks for coming by. Have a great rest of your week. If it's raining or cold where you are, stay warm. If it's hot, stay cool. And we'll be back here on Tuesday, Book Talk Tuesday, if you cross your fingers and have high hopes. And I hope to be back here. I hope to have some good news about Mango. But again, keep sending your prayers and good vibes. Um, Wanting a Christmas miracle, but I am realistic too. Anyway, so thanks again and have a good rest of your week. Well, I'm back in different clothes with a haircut, and you can't get rid of me yet. Because when I was editing this, I realized I just did the video of the books I had on my shelf, and I forgot to tell you guys the other part of the books that I don't have on my shelf that I'm going to have to get from the library or whatever. So that wasn't 25 books that you just first seen. Those are the books that I have. So now we're on to the books that I don't have yet. And yes, I'm back from a haircut. Got my Snoopy Christmas shirt on. And yeah, all right. And it's later in the afternoon. So here we go. Part 2 of 25 books in 2025 that I want to read. So, first one, and I'm probably not going to do a synopsis because I don't have these books, and if I can remember what they're about, I might tell you. Anyway, first one is Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. This is a continuation in from Bear Town. There's this one, and the last one, I think it's a trilogy, is Us Against something Winners. I don't know. This is the second one, Us Against You. I read the first one, Bear Town, back in I don't know, spring maybe. I listened to the audio, so that's that one. And then I have Hula by Jasmine Ilani Hakes. Hawks. It's about a family with I don't know how to explain it. Hula, um, a daughter who is, I think she's doing hula competition. Anyway, so I wanted to read this one in April. I put this one on because in Hawaii, they have the Merry Monarch Festival, and that is a giant hula competition that they have. They've had it for 50 something years now. It's on the Big Island in Hilo every year in April, so around Easter time. But yeah, so I wanted to read Hula at that time. Um, these are fiction. And the next one I wanted to read I was trying to find a shark one for Shark Week in, I think it's July. So I found Sharks in the Time of Saviors by Kawai Strong Washburn. Um, this is a native um, Hawaiian author. I think he's part native Hawaiian. Um, Hawaiian author, and can't remember what this is about, but I think it's fiction. I'm n- um I'm not sure, but I'll have a picture up and you can Google. And then the other one, another one, in a Island, indigenous. I don't know if he's an indigenous author or he's writing about the indigenous uh, family in New Zealand, which is Once We Were Warriors. Now, I seen this movie and I really liked it. It was a really good movie. And so then I found out it was a book and I wanted to read it. And that's by Alan Duff. And the next one is Any Man by Amber Tamblyn. Amber Tamblyn is actually an actress I knew of. I didn't know she wrote books, but this I heard about last year, and it's really I don't know what you call it, gritty telling of. I think it's about um, the story plot is a man. He's raped, and I'm not sure if I can say that word on. Yeah. Um, on I think, and it's about the effects of this happening to a male versus a woman type of thing. Um, anyway, it's a very I don't know if it's graphic. I gritty, um, you know, story. That's what that's about. Violence against men, sexual violence against men. And I want to say it's a serial rapist that's doing this. And I can't remember if it's supposed to be a woman doing this to a man. I can't remember. Don't You can Google it. That's Any Man by Amber Tamblyn. Yeah, Amber Tamblyn's a great actress, and apparently she's a great writer too. And then there's Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. That one was going around, I think, last year on BookTube, and I didn't get a chance to read it. And it's about it's a horror. I think it's a horror. Um, and I heard it was about This girl goes back home for a wedding. She's estranged from her family, but they're like some kind of cult or something like that. Anyway, sounded interesting. And I wanted to read it last year and I didn't get to it. And then I have three that are not published yet. There's two in March and one in April. And the one in April coming out April 15th is Pride or Die by C.L. Montblanc. I went over, I had these were all in a video I did for anticipated thrillers coming out in 2025. Um, so this is talking, I talk about these on that video. And then on March 18th, 2025 is Stephen Graham Jones has another one coming out. It's called The Buffalo Hunter Hunter. And this looks like it's a kind of a historical fiction, but it's about a vampire hunting these buffalo hunters in gosh, I don't know if it's early 1900s, late 1800s, something like that. It sounded really interesting. And beans, I didn't really fare well with Stephen Graham Jones's most recent one that came out this summer. The I Was a Teenage Slasher. I'm hoping this is going to do a lot better for me. And the last one is it comes out on March 25th, 2025, and this this book will bury me, and it's by Ashley Weinstead, and she wrote there was another book she wrote. I think it's I don't know, I'll put it up. Can't remember it. I think it went around on BookTube. It was pretty popular. I think it came out last year, the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, so that sums up my 25 books in 2025 that I want to read. So yeah, so these ones I don't have a copy, and of course, three of them aren't out yet. So anyway, okay, now thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your week. We'll be back here on Tuesday. Thanks.